Welcome back to the Cozy Cottage Homestead. Just want to give y'all an update on the peaches. They are all looking really good. They are starting to ripen. We might not have enough to can this year, but we'll definitely have enough to snack on. But oh my, next year and the year after, hopefully, we'll be canning some homegrown peaches from Louisiana. Now let's go over to the grape trellis. Well, we call them grapes. They're actually native to our area. They are actually wild muscadines that cross-pollinated with some grapes. So let's head on over there and look at that jungle. So, oh my goodness. When I tell you they have taken over the cattle panel trellis, I was not kidding. Now I'm going to have to walk around carefully because there are some bees that are wanting to get in there with them because of the sweetness of the grapes. I'm sorry, I'm going to probably keep calling them grapes, but they're actually muscadines. They are all putting on like crazy. Now we're just waiting on them to turn purple, and we have a whole bunch of new ones putting on. Now I'm going to polish off for a second because there's one little spot right here where I can get up underneath there and show you it from underneath the jungle of muscadine vines. Alright, now we have made it underneath the cattle panel, the grapevine muscadine trellis. Now I'm just waiting for them to change colors. Some of these, I've got a couple starting to turn purple. Now, they do need a lot of water. As a young child, I can remember going to the riverbanks, going to swim during the summertime, and picking muscadines to make jelly. Now, I've always wanted to try muscadine wine. I've never actually made it, but I have definitely tasted it way back, and for those that think that's just terrible, I'm sorry, but wine is actually good for you in moderation, and every now and then I like to get me a taste of muscadine wine. Now, these are doing amazing. So with the walk on the riverbank, where I was going with that was I have to keep watering them because when you think about the muscadines and the grapes growing along the riverbanks, they drink a lot of water. Now, it has been extremely hot, but they are still putting on new, I can't even count them. You could see them, new little muscadines everywhere. Right here you can kind of see, let me turn this way. Let's see if that helps. I'm up underneath here, so I'm trying to watch out for bees too. Let's zoom on in a little bit. Maybe that'll help. They are just everywhere, putting on more and more and more and more little tiny muscadine grapes. So if you were to look at these with the naked eye, you would think that they are just table grapes, but they are actually muscadines, and you would most definitely know when you bit into one that they are muscadines. So whenever you would bite into one, you can eat the peel. Most people don't because it's bitter, but I happen to like the sourness of it. The inside has like, I want to say 4 seeds. Don't take me to the bank on it because I'm not sure if it's 4 or 6, but it's something like that. So you would peel the peel off. I usually do it with my teeth, all in one little method. You know, us here in the South, we can peel them crawfish. Well, I can do the muscadines just as fine. So you would just put it in your mouth. You can spit out the peel if you wanted to, and then spit out the seeds and then chew up the inside. And it's kind of like a gummy texture for those that do not know what a muscadine tastes like. Now, I have to be careful because ants will start getting into the muscadines and ruin the flesh, and then they're no good. But I'm thinking as many muscadines as this thing has put on this year, I probably have a good chance of beating them to it this year. And if I'm able to do that, and plus there are tons more waiting to develop all over the place. I should have a pretty good shot at getting me some, at least muscadine jelly made this year. So if I do, and also grape juice or muscadine juice, I would love to make a video on both of those, but we most definitely can't count our chickens before they hatch, so we'll have to see how it goes. See, there's one turning purple. The one above it that's dark is actually ants has already gotten it, but they will get dark, deep dark purple. So this thing has took off like crazy, and again, rabbit manure, we plant them on the insides of the trellis, and then we have our raised beds on the outside, and we have our sweet potatoes. That's their bed that I'm showing y'all sometimes. So we had a really yucky storm blow through, and the weight of all the muscadines was just extremely heavy, and it was blowing the trellis like side to side, and it almost tried to blow it over to where it collapsed. We were able to come out here and use what we had. We have a old ramp for our four-wheeler to load it in and out the back of the Iron Giant. So we came out here and propped it up. So pretty soon we're going to be actually coming underneath here. Instead of just using T-post, we're actually going to come underneath here and put in some 4x4 wood posts, excuse me, and concrete it, and actually put some beams across the center here. See if I can back up without getting into any bees, and make some actual, what you think of as a real grape vineyard trellis, and make it a little more permanent, since the T-post. Really, we used the small ones. We could have used the larger ones, but we're going to go ahead right on the outside of that and drop some 4x4s and make a wood trellis underneath the lattice that it will kind of go across to give it more support. But again, I had no idea that they were going to take off like they did. It literally is like a jungle underneath here where I'm at, but it's quite nice because I'm not in the sun. So it's really pretty though underneath here. Be a nice little quiet sitting spot. Read a book or something. Sip on some sweet tea. Especially in the evenings. Listen to all the birds singing. I'm going to get on out of here and show you back the outside from another angle, so you can have a better picture of how much of a jungle this muscadine trellis has become. Alright, now I'm back out through that one little hole right there. Let me see if I can back on up to show y'all. This thing is just taking off, y'all. I'm not lying. It's just unbelievable. You wouldn't even know that I think there's 3 cattle panels. I think it's 12 foot across. Something like that. But to tell you what, I tell you it took off. It took off. It's completely covered. So, just want to give y'all an update on how a few things we're doing here on the homestead. So, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to make me some muscadine jelly, also known as grape, which is kind of known as wild grapes. The Native Americans were the ones that started cultivating them, and they grow quite well here in the South, usually closer to water. So that reminds me again, I got to get to watering all my plants. So farewell, Homestead family, friends, and neighbors from the Cozy Cottage Homestead.